What's up, it's Jan back at it again with another nerdy bookish video. Welcome to episode 2 of Do Your Worst. Oh my god. I hate myself too, it's okay. That is the series title that I've decided on. Do Your Worst, as in reading my friends' worst books, but specifically my friends who have opposite tastes as me. So, in case you missed it, I just did this for Kayla from Books and Lala. We both made a video where we read each other's worst books. I'll link that down below. That was super fun. And then I was thinking, who hates some of my favorite books? First one that came to mind was Gavin. Gavin from Gavin Reads It All, who constantly, I was gonna say constantly talk shit. Gavin hates A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson.
The main reason why I really hate this book is because I just despise second-person narratives.
Which, if you're new here, is my favorite book of all time. I've read it 5 times now. Nothing can top it. The writing, stunning. Vampires, polyamorous vampires, Dracula's brides, reimagining. It's just gorgeous. Impeccable. Unmatched. Top tier. Gavin disagrees. And that's okay.
We don't always have the exact same taste.
Still love him. So, he was the first one that came to mind for this next episode, and he was like,
you know what? I'll do one too.
So, he's also reading my worst books from lists that I gave him. So check that out if you haven't already. I don't know what we're doing with like the whole premiere situation still. I know this is supposed to go up on March 31st. It's currently the 18th. I built a TBR. No promises that I'm gonna get to all of them. I wanna get to 5. I have a 6th one that's gonna be on my Kindle, which I think I will try to read while I'm getting my hair done on Wednesday. I have my Wednesdays off. I wanna just be able to bring my Kindle instead of a whole physical book with annotation supplies and stuff. There are 5 physical books here. If I get to 4, I'll be happy. Gavin doesn't know my TBR, so I'm like trying really hard to make sure I like hide my Goodreads feed and hide my stories from him when I finish the first book, which is A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed. So this was not in his worst books list that he gave me.
I wasn't tired when I fell asleep. This just genuinely bored the life out of me.
If you're curious, the list is right here. There you go. The objective is that I find a new favorite or something I really loved based on what Gavin hates to like confirm our opposite tastes. And the fact that friends can be friends even if our tastes don't align. I mean, that should go without being said, but you know, the world can be wild. But anyway, I am flying through this book. I am 87 pages in. I was following along with the audiobook this morning because I want to get these done as fast as possible. But then I read it during my lunch break too, and I flew through like 30 pages. I think it's the font because it's definitely not the chapter lengths because there are like 20-page chapters in this bitch. But the font is just, I love it. Now, in terms of the story itself,
the plot is very thin.
I'm pretty intrigued, to be honest. I have things to say though. This was pitched to me as dark academia, enemies to lovers. Gavin said it's neither of those things, so it's mismarketed. So at least I'm prepared. Also, A Study in Drowning. I thought it was gonna be like studying set in a school, like it's a study, an abstract concept, you know? I don't know. But I didn't think it was gonna be an actual room, like a study room, like an office that's literally in water. This house is like set on the side of a cliff. Our main character was selected to design like a renovated house for this dead author who's like her favorite author, and she's an architect student, so she was chosen to design this house. She goes to visit the house. She finds out that the dead author, reclusive author, is not who she expected to be. I don't know, she finds out some like secrets and stuff. I don't know, I'm not there yet, but she realizes he's like kind of a slob. He's not as refined as he makes himself seem, but he was also a recluse. He refused to like do any interviews, talk to the media, any of that. It kind of made me wonder if this author was inspired by J.D. Salinger at all, because in college, one of my English professors was actually one of the few people who got an interview from J.D. Salinger, and he taught me that like he was very much the same way. Like he refused all interviews, he just like stayed in his house. So yeah, that seemed very likely. It also kind of reminds me of The Whispering Dark meets The Devil Makes Three, because there's a scene in the beginning where she's like really mad about someone checking out all these library books about this author. And The Devil Makes Three by Tori Bovalino also was set at a library, and there was like this unnecessary drama, I think, with this boy. And so she meets this boy, and here we are. So I'm gonna read more of this today, hopefully finish it by like tomorrow morning, as I am into it so far. Right now it's probably sitting at like a 3. I'm iffy about the characters.
I find a lot of the characters to be quite insufferable.
I don't know if I'm gonna like them. I will say say that the female main character, Effie, has a lot more depth, a lot more baggage than I expected. I thought she was going to be very like flat and surface level. I don't know why I assumed that. I've been hearing so many mixed things about this. I've owned it since its release date. So when Gavin vlogged about him giving this 2 stars, saying it was boring, so boring that he fell asleep for the last few chapters and didn't even bother reading them back because he had his book club live show for it on Patreon, that made me just want to add it to this TBR, I guess. I'm not going to talk about all of these, but I think One by One is the one that I'm like, I'll be okay if I don't get to this one. The girl on the train, I actually made Joey, my boyfriend, if you're new here, hi. I actually asked him if he wanted to buddy read this with me this week, and he started it and he's like 100 pages in, and he said it's really good. I actually watched this movie like when it came out.
I have watched the movie,
but I've never read the book and I've owned this forever. So if I can read it and see if I want to unhaul it, that'd be grand. Plus Joey and I both have copies of it and we don't need 2 in the same household. We'll just keep 1. I said I wasn't going to talk about all these, but Final Girl Support Group I've had for a while as well. I love a couple of Grady Hendrix's works, but I've read like 4 I think at this point.
This is my 4th one.
I just want to see where I stand with this one. And then The Appeal I got from the library, mainly because I know it's mixed media. There's like texts and a bunch of emails all throughout, so I figured this would be a quick one despite it being like a 400+ page thriller. I'm not one to give synopses on everything. I don't even know if I'm gonna get to all of these. If you saw my Kayla video, I used my spinner wheel as like the fun thing of the vlog, but with Gavin, I think I've decided I'm gonna recreate some of his photos because I know he's gonna do a Jan counter where he counts how many puns he can make out of my name. I love puns. I love wordplay with my name. Like I just did a readathon called Jante's Inferno. I always make puns out of my name. So he's gonna do that as his fun thing. I think I'm gonna get some wine tonight as well because you know him and his wine. I'm not gonna get Prosecco.
I don't even know if I buy enough Prosecco actually.
Or like red wine because that's his go-to.
I can't talk about the last 100 pages without some wine. And I'll pour myself some red wine.
I'm gonna stick to my pink Moscato, but that's if I feel like leaving the house again. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Thank you so much to Gavin for wanting to do this with me. I did not expect him to want to do his own vlog, but here we are. Don't mind me while I fangirl a little bit. I am honored to collab with the Gavin Reads It All. I hope this vlog is at least a little bit good. Oh, Joey's back. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye! Alright y'all, I crossed the 100-page mark of A Study in Drowning, but before I talk about that, I mean, there's not much to talk about really. I did my first photo recreation. Here's the Gavin-spiration photo. There we go. And then here's my recreation. To be honest, not too shabby. Obviously, he did it better, as with everything in life, but I think I did a pretty damn good job. He just commented #Javin, I'm dead. I actually had a different outfit on to do another one that Joey and I worked on in the stairwell. Actually, I'll just show you. I was gonna say that'll be later in the week, but that doesn't matter to y'all. The Gavinspiration. There we go. And then it's not as good as my Literally Dead book club one, but there it is. It was the hand. I was like, what are you doing with your hand, Gavin? Yeah, I hope he doesn't hate me for scrolling way far down, but I have a few more from his Instagram that I screenshotted, so this is gonna be fun. Anyway, I think the only thing I wanted to mention that I forgot to mention earlier was that I hate Effie's mom. She's such a bitch. She's such a raging bitch. Effie, like I said, has all this baggage, right? She's trying so hard to reach out for help to her mom. She's calling her. She's literally asking if she can come home, and all her mom keeps saying is,
"Did you take your medication? I don't want you to come home. Let me live my life." Well, what are you doing? You can't come home. Just take a nap, get some rest.
Don't forget to take your meds.
she just keeps pushing and pushing these pills when she needs your fucking love and affection. That's annoying. I am gonna eat dinner soon, but I wanted to at least finish chapter 6. This book is flying. And I love this like teal color. The tabs look really good. This is my color palette. Just love the gold with the teal. That's irrelevant. Okay.
Saw you from across the room.
Hi, I'm obviously at work. Real quick before people walk by. 284 pages into A Study in Drowning. Still flying through it. Definitely gonna finish it today. I got up at 5 and then I read like 80 pages and then at like 6 I went back to sleep and had this weird annoying dream. So I did hit my 100-page goal today fairly early in the day. I don't know. Like, I like it. I don't dread picking it up. I'm intrigued to see what happens at the end, and I'm still following the story, surprisingly, because there's a lot of like weird names, fairy tale-esque type of things that I'm usually not a fan of. But I think I do like our main character, Effie, because she has a lot going on. Trigger warning for sexual harassment and her toxic mother. So she has a lot. And then there's this one reveal that happened. It was more of like a almost fantasy-ish element. I don't want to give too much away, but that was interesting. And I am curious to see what is going on with this dead author, because I don't know, but the male main character, Preston, is also carrying some baggage. We just found out things about his parents. In terms of rating, I don't know if it's going to be a 3 or a 4. It's definitely not a 5-star material, but it does have decent writing. So depending on how it ends, it could be a 4. But right now I'm gonna settle for a 3, but I think we can conclude that I'm not hating it as much as Gavin did, because I'm not bored. I'm really not. And the audiobook's not bad. I just have to slow it down because of the accents. The romance part, I thought it was gonna be cringy. I thought I was gonna hate it, to be honest, because it is a YA book. But I'm actually like, you know, like, oh, kind of cute. They have some tender moments. Nothing too intense has happened between them yet, so it is kind of a slower burn, which I like. That's probably why I like it. I'm gonna finish this tonight. I'm gonna listen to the audiobook while I work because there's like no one up here today. Part of me wants to just read it physically, but I do want to just move on, so I'll probably try to finish it before the end of my work day. It's 2 o'clock right now. I just got back from lunch. I'll update y'all when I get home. I want to finish my laundry because there's a shirt. Sorry, I had Doritos and like the cheese is just like in there, you know? But there's a shirt that I want to grab that's my merch that looks like a Winterween shirt that Gavin has in one of his in one of his photos that I want to recreate today. It's fairly easy. So I want to get my laundry done, so I gotta stop at my mom's at some point. But I also want to just like be in bed. I'll keep y'all posted. Y'all want to know something kind of crazy? Just a little bit wild? A little bit silly goofy? I just gave this 4 stars. Needless to say, a success. First book, first success of this vlog, because obviously Gavin hated it, and the goal is for me to find books I love based on what he hates. I'm not gonna lie, I debated between like a high 3, low 4, but then I realized the overall message and how it conveys that powerful men try to just take credit for everything. Also, the literature college at the school that Effie goes to, they don't allow women. So she's trying to chill at the architect school and try to be this thing that she doesn't want to be when her passion is in literature, but like she's not allowed. And then things happen and there's character growth and whatever. But there's also the mystery aspect of this that had a pretty good resolution, a pretty good twist. I wasn't completely like surprised by like a jaw in hell type shit. I guess I didn't really try to like predict things, but if I did, I probably maybe would have come close to the twist. But I just like went with the flow and just waited for the twist. It all made sense. It all connected. It flowed really well. I think the pacing was really good. Usually when I listen to audiobooks, just audiobooks, I say, oh, I zoned out a little bit on some parts. And like, sure, maybe I did like during the Fairy King stuff, but I think I pretty much got all the crucial moments of the story. There were even times where I caught myself zoning out and I would go back physically and then it would all click. That's rare for me to care enough about an audiobook to go back, if that makes sense. I think I feel weird about it because I went into it with such low expectations because I've heard such mixed and negative things about this, but I think it also helped a ton that I went into it knowing not to expect dark academia and not to expect enemies to lovers. I just went into it and took it at face value and just rolled with it and saw what happened, and things happened. Also, love the tabs I used. That matches so perfectly. There was a time where I'm like, okay, am I gonna unhaul this? And by the end, I'm like, no, I'm keeping this on my shelves, and I totally would reread this for the parts that I did miss, maybe, possibly, to get a better, well-rounded understanding of what actually happened, because I know what happened. It's just there were some elements where I'm like, oh, I don't know how we got here, but everything's clicking, I'm following, it's fine. In terms of like transitioning from scene to scene, if that makes sense. I guess it helps too that I finished the book and Gavin said he fell asleep the last like 2 or 3 chapters. So I think I will go back and watch his live show for it on his Patreon to see more of his in-depth thoughts if I get to it. I know it was longer than usual. I know it was like an hour and did he say like 15 or 20 minutes? So we'll see if I end up watching the whole thing. It's Wednesday tomorrow, so I do have a day off, but I have to start my Bonesmith spoiler-filled reading vlog for Patreon for my full moon book club. So I will be starting my next book, which is The Appeal. But then tomorrow, did I say this already? I'm gonna get my hair done and I want to read on my Kindle. So I'm gonna start Does It Hurt by H.D. Carlton, which I also have on audio. That's one of those books where I don't care if I read it just audibly. So I'll have 2 going for this vlog, and then simultaneously I'll be reading Bonesmith when I have time to really sit down and my brain is capable of it. I feel like The Appeal isn't gonna take too much brain power because it's all emails and it's gonna be a quick read and it's a library book, so I'm not gonna annotate obviously, but Bonesmith I have to like really be in there. So yeah, also, I don't remember who recommended this, but I was asking people for manga series recs and I was looking for specifically shorter ones, like shorter series, not necessarily shorter books. Someone recommended Mermaid Saga and there are only 2 volumes, like omnibus volumes. This is the first one, and then I already put the second one on hold because I know one of the tropes in here is immortality. Like if you eat mermaid flesh, one can attain immortality, and that's all I needed to know. And I don't know what genre this is. Is there horror in this? I don't know, but obviously there's fantasy. So we'll see if this is my cup of tea. Obviously Gavin also loves manga, so I figured I'd share here. But yeah, woohoo! 1 book done. I need to edit my Patreon readathon vlog to get that up by tomorrow, but it doesn't have too much footage, so I'm not that stressed. But I also want to definitely start my next book. Glad this was 4 stars. That's great. I'm like resisting posting about it on my story. I've been deleting my Goodreads updates because I don't want to block Gavin for my stories because I'm scared I'm gonna forget to unblock him. So we're just gonna resist for now and just put it all in my journal and whatever. After work, I went to my mom's house, finished 1 load of laundry. I'm gonna go back and pick up the rest of it tomorrow and then hopefully put it away ideally. But yeah, that's my productive post-work thing. Wow, feels good. I have like 3 or 4 more things on my to-do list and I think it's actually doable because it's only 7:24. This is so exciting. So I just made coffee because I had a raging headache and I feel like this is such a Gavin cup. It's from Hellolovelybox. Use my code JustJan15 LOL. But yeah, it says looking for the right red flag. Oh, I forgot to buy wine. Damn, maybe that'll just be a weekend thing. Okay, Joey made dinner, so we're gonna eat dinner. Hopefully this is focused because I don't have the little flip screen up. And then I have to do my Gavin photo recreation. I have the outfit ready already. It's right there.
When our eyes met, I never knew that I could feel this way, and it's kinda strange. Don't even know your name.
Hello from yet another angle on my bed. As you saw, I started The Appeal, and right before that, I was editing. I was just rough editing my Lair readathon video that I'm gonna post tomorrow morning. Anyway, y'all don't care. But before that, I did my Gavin-inspired Instagram photo today, so that was fun. Tomorrow I'm gonna try to remember to film the process of me recreating and see how long it takes. Because today's wasn't too bad. Yesterday I did 2. I don't know when I'm gonna post the other one. I don't think I'm gonna post one tomorrow because it's Wednesday. I usually do a weekly Wednesday photo dump of my productive day because it keeps me accountable. Y'all seem to like it so far, so I mean, I've been doing it for over a month now, and I just like list my little victories, so hopefully it's like somewhat motivating. I don't know. It's motivating for me, I'll tell you that much. But I am about 30 pages into The Appeal.
Oh my god, I was so bored. I couldn't finish it. I got to around about 70%.
And I'm really liking the mixed media so far.
Everything was told in emails.
I'm intrigued because there are so many characters, so I have no idea who's gonna die.
Somebody ends up dying.
It says 1 murder, 15 suspects. Can you uncover the truth? So I'm kind of nervous for all the characters to keep track of, but I don't know. I mean, it's also a bunch of like actors and people who work for this. Is it a movie or a show? I don't know. Oh, it's a play. But I'm not a fan of like theater, acting, like those types of books, but it is going going really fast as expected, so hopefully I get a good chunk, if not finish it tomorrow. But like I said, I gotta pause this to read Bonesmith. But this would be a nice like palate cleanser if I'm not feeling fantasy. My Bonesmith live show is Sunday at 8 p.m. I mean, I have a little bit of time, but it's also like a 450 page fantasy, so I'm scared. But that's a different story. It's a different part of my life. Those are my initial thoughts for the appeal. I have a decent feeling about it. I'm gonna try to maybe do some research to see what Gavin hated about this.
It just felt so unbelievable to me. I was bored out of my mind. Nothing more to say about it. I DNF'd it.
Either way, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And I'm gonna have new hair tomorrow. I'm gonna get a haircut too, because my hair is so long and I love having long hair, but I also want a change. Again, y'all don't care. Shut the fuck up, Jan.
Hello.
So this happened. Call me butt naked and banging on your bathroom floor because she's shaggy. Oh my god. Anyway, these aren't like actual bangs. I kind of cut them a little bit shorter when I got home. They were curtain bangs. I don't like curtain bangs like the day I get my hair done because, you know, they put all that shiny stuff and it like flattens it. So I don't like it. So I just have some makeshift bangs for now. I need to fix a couple strands because I fucked it up. Ew, what the fuck is that? I dyed it jet black again. I wanted to update right away, but I kind of forgot because I was starving. So I haven't eaten yet. So I'm eating my Caesar salad right now. I'm watching the Gavin himself. He just posted a like try chapter vlog. I have some reading updates. So I actually also started my Bonesmith vlog. So that is spoiler filled and has to be its own vlog. Now I just gotta like manage my time better. A little bit of a funny story. So I started it's not a funny story, really. I don't know why I said that. But I started Does It Hurt by H.D. Carlton. I think I mentioned that in the beginning of this vlog because I wanted a Kindle book as well. Well, guess what? I never downloaded it on my Kindle. So I ended up downloading it on my Kindle app on my phone since my Kindle didn't have like the Wi-Fi or whatever. It couldn't do it. So I started it via audio while I brought Cheeto to the dog park. And then I read like a chapter at the salon. I just hate reading on my phone, so I couldn't. Can we just talk about some of these fucking lines, okay? I didn't even want to read this book off his list. I just wanted one that was available on KU. First of all, why is it 400 fucking pages and it's not slow burn? Like, she's already in love.
It's happening way too quickly.
My instinct is to DNF.
Saying that though, I do kind of like it.
She describes herself as near feral for this man, and oh, also there was one time when she said, "Thank you, I grew them myself," after he complimented her boobs. That's so funny because every time I compliment Joey, even if it's like his eyebrows or his nose I compliment all the time. I can't believe I'm sharing this with the internet. But I compliment his nose all the time because it's so freaking cute. And he's always like, "Thanks, I grew it myself." So I thought that was really funny. Other lines were, "You taste better than the sweetest wine, and I could fucking drink you forever." And we're 30 pages in. Like, calm down. We're in a sex scene.
When we have our first proper sex scene.
He like moans, or no, she moans.
He performs oral on her.
He's like eating her out. And she's like, it's like watching a flower blossom with the way he comes alive. I don't like this writing. She nearly chokes from the fire in his hazel eyes. Like, come on. So, I don't know. I told my patrons, I was like, I'm thinking of DNFing this, but then one of my vamps, Birdie, was like, listen, it goes absolute bananas by the end. That's all I'm saying. I looked into it more, and I forgot that it's technically like a thrillery romance, so I do like that aspect, so maybe I can push on a little bit more, but the writing is not great.
Felt like a lot of this book was written pretty well.
However, I can see it getting dark in the way that I like dark romances.
I just want something that remains dark throughout.
So we'll see. All I know is that they fuck around sharks at one point.
I did see a random piece of fan art, which took me ages to find again, but I managed to find it, and it's artwork done by someone called Mon Reyes.
But then I also saw reviews that it's like, it's not even worth it. Like, that scene is not even worth it. So I don't know. For my longer romances, I just want a slow slow burn. That's why I loved All Roads Lead Here so much. It was like 600 something pages and I loved every page because it was slow fucking burn. This, she was in love literally 20 pages in. I don't really like our main female character.
Sawyer herself, I mean, I don't hate her, I don't love her.
It's almost pick-me-girl energy, but like her voice is not great. The tone of things she says and the things she thinks on her own, like, it's just kind of cringy. There was almost my most hated trope, but that was cleared out of the way, and I double-checked with Birdie if it happens again and if it like follows through, and she said no. So that gave me the green light to want to continue, but I wouldn't be mad if I DNF because I didn't pay for the book. It's on Kindle Unlimited, whatever. I also have the audiobook through Hoopla, so maybe if anything I'll just finish it through audio, but I'm also not a fan of the narrators, so I don't know. In terms of the appeal, let me go get it. So I'm 100 pages in now. It's all right. I mean, like I said before, there are a bunch of characters, so I have no idea where this is gonna go. I'm assuming it's gonna have something to do with money and someone just like taking advantage of people, lying about stuff, but it could also take a whole different turn. I don't know. But there's this couple who has a sick daughter. She's 2 years old and she has some sort of cancer. So they hosted this like charity event, and there's a bunch of it's all emails back and forth between like donors, the doctors, and the parents, and then the cast members of this play that the grandpa is trying to put together in the midst of all this. I don't know where it's going, but I'm intrigued. I don't think I'm gonna DNF this because I'm 100 pages in and the appeal is there. It's Gav-interesting, if you will. Last night he replied to my post because I put the Gav-inspiration and he said, what's going on? This is getting Gav-interesting, and I was like,
That was my next pun.
since I have my weekly Wednesday photo dump to post today, I think I'm gonna do like a pardon the Gavin-terruption or something like that, or like Gavin-termission. I'm in the mood to recreate one of his photos as well, so we'll see. But also I have so much to do and it's already 2 o'clock. How is this a 9-minute clip? What the fuck? I'm gonna finish Gavin's video, I'm gonna finish my salad, and then we're gonna be productive. I'm gonna put laundry away, film hopefully if I feel like it. I just picked up the rest of my laundry for my mom's, so I can listen to Does It Hurt while I put that away. And I have dishes to do, so yeah, I'll keep y'all posted.
I would wait a lifetime if you were at sea. I just wanna say that I feel that our love is real. Maybe we should hurry up and seal the deal.
There's a Gavin in the appeal. Incredible. Gavin-credible, if you will. I have an update because I'm about to switch to Bonesmith again. A lot has happened since we last spoke. Things have gotten worse since we last spoke. First of all, this Does It Hurt book. Oh my god. Okay, so I got to the shark scene and I thought it was worth it.
Like, honestly, I must admit, like, this is a sex scene like no other.
Okay, like, it was an intense scene.
I will admit, this was a very exciting scene.
But there are a lot of cringy moments in this book. Like, the writing is really bad.
The writing is quite nice.
Scared the bitch out of me. The audiobook kind of almost makes it worse. Actually, definitely makes it worse. You know those certain accents? Like, everyone has those accents that they love, like, in general. But then there are those accents that you like, except when they're in sex scenes. Because Enzo, his accent is definitely one of those. It did not do anything for me. Every time he said something dirty,
Whenever they're talking dirty to each other,
it made me laugh.
it makes me laugh.
And I hated listening to the audiobook. I am gonna continue because I'm intrigued by this girl's crimes, like what she's done in her life, if she's gonna get caught. I mean, she already has suspicions on her. She's running away. I don't know if she's a con artist or if she's like stealing people's identities. I'm actually not sure. She like ran away to Australia. She ends up in a shark cage with fucking Enzo, and that was intense. I wish I could remember the one line that I said I have to remember for the vlog. So much has happened. I took Cheeto out. I took a nap. I played guitar. I don't remember. I like the Mindfuck series and There Are No Saints, that duology. I know Katie has pointed out very problematic things about that book that I was blinded by apparently, but the second one was also good. I don't know. Regardless, Mindfuck mindfuck series. Same kind of vibes as Does It Hurt, but the sex scenes feel like they go on forever. I'm more interested in the actual like plot. I mean, as usual, but I'm just not about these characters. She's so, I don't even know how to explain her. The writing, it's just, I can't get behind it. It's not getting any better. I also read 50 more pages of the appeal, and it's getting kind of annoying because there are so many conversations that are going nowhere. It's just going round and round about the money and why this money is here and why that money is not getting paid, but then there's this money, and then there are all these numbers, but nothing's getting resolved. It's easy to read, so obviously I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna finish this. Not today though. I read 104 pages of this. I don't know how far I got into Does It Hurt, but I need to switch to Bonesmith for now. This one's looking better than Does It Hurt, but I don't know. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Time. I just wanna hold you for forever. Every day you're making me better. 'Cause a love like this is rare. And I wanna take you there.
Hello. It's actually been a couple days, so we've got a few updates, I guess. I don't remember the last thing I updated. Oh, you know what? Let's start with photo recreations, because I killed it yesterday, okay? Did I show y'all I got my hair done? Yeah, I got bangs, but we're pulling a Gavin. In true Gavin fashion, we have a beanie on. I am a beanie gal, not usually like inside the house though, but I do own about, I think I counted once, I have like 27 beanies. I have so many. I don't remember if that was the number for beanies and dad hats combined. Maybe it's more than that. Maybe I had 27 flannels at some point. Anyway, I have way too many beanies, so I'm using one because it's fucking cold, because it's fucking snowing, and I'm working from home. It's currently Friday. My body ached, okay? The arthritis was arthritising this morning, so I asked to work from home, but I woke up at 5, took Cheeto out, and then Christina and I hopped on until about 8:30. I did some editing, some reading, but I read Bonesmith for my other vlog, but in between things I'm doing, I'm reading the appeal. Yeah, don't tell my boss. Here are the last 2 recreations I did, because on Wednesday I posted my hair photo, and then here, did I show y'all this one? Okay, so there's Gavin's with the Winterween ghosty and a beanie, and there's me with my ghosty on my merch and a beanie. And then yesterday's, I did his profile picture on Instagram, his current one. Okay, he's holding Gossip Girl. He's in front of Shakespeare & Co. And that's me. I'm holding The View was exhausting because it was like the same vibes, but I just put the background. I was like, flew all the way to Paris. Super proud of that one. In terms of reading, the appeal, I just hit 200 pages and I'm still kind of having trouble figuring out who's who. There's just so many characters. I mean, the main ones, the ones that are like more frequently emailing, I guess, are Isabel, Samantha, Martin. I don't know much about, sorry, I'm spinning my nose ring. Just Jan things. Don't know much about anyone personality-wise. All I know is their tone of voice in terms of how they write emails, how they have conversations, maybe like what they do for a living, how they earn money, if they're wealthy or not. I don't feel attached to anybody. That could be a problem, but at the same time, I'm still intrigued and I do want to keep going. I just hope the reveals are done well. I hope it's paced well, and I hope something shocks me along the way, because right now nothing has done any of those things. For Does It Hurt, which I'm hoping to finish today because I only have less than 4 hours left of the audiobook, I'm 37% in. I might have to agree with Gavin for this one. It's not getting any better. Like I said, the shark scene did stand out, but now they're just, no, I really don't know what's going on. I don't like Enzo's POV.
Enzo, I remember the guy's name. It was Enzo because I fucking hated him.
Especially via audio. Again, like I said before, I don't mind his accent when he's just talking normally. I don't mind it at all. I just don't like listening to it when he's in bed. It's also the depth of the narrator's voice. It just makes me feel icky when he talks. Sawyer just reads so young too. Just the things she says to herself.
So she meets Enzo on page 19 and sniffs him on page 20.
Question questionable sometimes. I don't even know how old she's supposed to be. In her 20s, I think. Those are my reading updates. I think after I finish The Appeal, I will jump into The Girl on the Train because Joey is reading that one, so we can somewhat buddy read. But when I finish Does It Hurt, I'm thinking the final girl support group, probably. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna force myself to get to one by one. I think 2 thrillers in this mix are enough, and then like a thrillery romance. Okay, just wish me luck, because I also have to finish Bonesmith. I'm a little bit stressed, just a tad, because it's the 22nd, and I still have to fit in a cramming vlog for this month, because I have a good idea for that one too that I want to try out for like a challenge, and this has to go up on the 31st. Welcome to my brain. This is everything I think of on a daily basis. Things I do for Gavin, I swear to God.
I would give it all away to do it all again.
It's many hours later. I'm 76% through what I think is one of the worst books I've ever read. Oh my god. This book is literally killing me, but I'm almost done. About an hour and a half left. It'll be fine. We'll survive. Maybe even less than that, because I'm listening in 2.4 speed because I just want it to be over. Seriously, not getting better. I keep telling my patron Birdie, I'm like, girl, when? She's like, it gets more thrillery, I promise. Like, I'm interested in your thoughts. And I was like, okay, for you, I will. For Gavin, I will. And I think for me, I shouldn't have. But it's okay, because then if I DNF, I wouldn't be able to rate it a low rating. And I really want to rate it a low rating. I don't rate my DNFs personally. Not that I think there's anything wrong with that. I don't give a shit. But for what I do, I give a shit. I am on my second coffee. I'm technically still working. So I have like 2 hours, an hour and a half. Ooh, maybe I could actually finish this at the same time I can clock out of work. After the shark scene, literally, I lost all interest.
The memorable sex scene was the one with the shark. That is like the only thing going for this book, because the sex following that is just not being up to par.
Every time I blink, like, I realize I'm zoning out, and then we're just in another sex scene, another cringy sex scene. I don't think I liked a single sex scene in this whole book so far, and they're all bad. There was this one line that actually prompted me to make my second cup of coffee. I don't know what this says about me, but she literally goes,
I just want to chug caffeine like I'm a porn star surrounded by 5 dicks.
and I'm like, I mean, okay, I heard coffee, so I listened to that line, and I heard it loud and clear. So here I am with my second cup of coffee. That's the type of writing I've been dealing with. I'm just so grateful for audiobooks today. I really am. At least I can finish this today, have that checked off, have my second book of the vlog done, and then I'm shooting for tomorrow to finish The Appeal. Tomorrow latest. So then I can jump into Girl on the Train. That one seems quick enough where I could finish it in like 2 days as well. And then the final girl support group will be the final book. I don't know how long that one's gonna take me, but I do have the audiobook. So that's the plan. And I just have to keep repeating it to myself until things happen, because that's how I stay motivated. I can't remember. I probably did say that we got the DVD for Girl on the Train, so we'll probably watch this as soon as we both finish the book. I don't even know if Joey cares if he finishes the book or not. Speaking of movies, in 4 hours, 7 p.m. my time, I have my Lair Lounge night, which is my Patreon movie night, and we're gonna be watching Luckiest Girl Alive, which I haven't read the book for, but Mila Kunis is in it. I want to see her in like a more serious movie. I've only seen her in like comedies and obviously that 70s show, so I mean, I'll still probably try to read The Appeal in and out of that movie. Okay, let's just hit play and suffer some more. Oh my god, I finally fucking finished it. God, that was endless. That was endless. That was insufferable. That was Gavin-sufferable. Oh. I have no words. Like, I mean, I have many words, but no words. Such a waste of time. When I got to the epilogue, I was like, okay, here we go, here we go. I'm glad it wasn't an epilogue that was like a lot of romance epilogues, if you know what I mean. That thing that I hate, yeah, it didn't happen in this, so that's cool. But everything else, I wish my brain was engaged enough to remember quotes verbatim, because there were so many, too many cringy ones that would have been entertaining. Okay, speaking of entertaining, I talked to Birdie, my patron, who read this book, and she said, I never said it was good, I just said it was entertaining, and I was like, you got a point. I mean, it sure was, okay? But like not the good kind of entertaining that I want. I don't want this. It's probably 1 star. The 1 star is solely for that shark scene. Part of me hates that I actually enjoyed that shark scene because that's like the only thing I knew going into this. I mean, if I was gonna like any scene, that's what it was, right? I really thought I would hate it though. After that, I just stopped caring. I don't even know what happened. The transitions, like I missed every transition. All of a sudden we are at this lighthouse and then they mention ghosts at some point, but then it was just like this mystery being resolved, kind of, and then they're fucking. Every 5 seconds they're fucking, which expected, right? Fine. And I also don't mind that if the scenes were good, but they were awful. I feel like even if I read it physically, they'd still be just as bad. It's just the audiobook made it an infinite amount worse, infinite times worse. I'm not even making sense anymore. But there was one, so I told you about the chugging caffeine. That wasn't even a sex scene, but then there was a sex scene where they broke a table and she goes, hold on, I quoted it in my Discord. My ears hurt from having those headphones on for so fucking long.
We broke the fucking table, like Humpty Dumpty bad.
Excuse me, what? What sucks is that I own Haunting Adeline, which is the same author, H.D. Carlton, and I just don't think I would like it. I truly don't think I would like it. It's based on this writing, and this came after Haunting Adeline, which means, usually, that the writing would be worse. I try not to make those assumptions because there are authors who prove me wrong. Like Taylor Jenkins Reid, I would have guessed that Malibu Rising and Carrie Soto is Back were her debuts compared to Forever Interrupted. Are you fucking kidding? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But what is here is one of the worst books I've ever read. I agree with Gavin. This one was a failure in terms of this experiment, but at least we agree on something. So yay us. I really wish I remembered, but like it's hurting my brain trying to think of really bad quotes from these sex scenes. Not that y'all want to hear it anyway, but it was just such bad writing. It was like nothing was up for imagination. And I'm not talking like I wanted Fade to Black, right? It was just like, oh, his dick was not that hard, but it was still pretty hard or something like that. Like, why write like that? Why do you need to say that? Why can't you make it more concise? Like, say it's a fucking half chub. Oh, there was one line where it was like, he feasted on me like a starving man on a private island or something like that. And I was like, help. And there were some things that were like something along the lines of like he's a god, or like
the guy always looks like a Greek god.
He looked at me like he was worshiping. I don't know, something. It was just so badly melodramatic and just not cute. Nothing about it was romantic to me. Nothing.
There's like a waterfall and everything. It does sound really romantic and like really nice.
Okay, I will say like it did hate to love really well. There were times where he was literally like,
I fucking hate you.
But then he's like fucking her 2 seconds later, or in the same breath, or saying I hate you while fucking her. But it didn't do anything for me, for my joy. And the title is so stupid. Can we talk about how dumb the title is? The title, it's no mystery. I saw a Goodreads review that already said this, but the title literally refers to his dick. Like, he asks, does it hurt? And that's where they got the title. Are you fucking kidding me? You couldn't do some, like, wordplay with sharks or something? Why? But that's so on the nose. Like, there were so many other things that happened that weren't part of the romance. The thrillery aspect, cool. That and the sharks earned the star. The whole reveal of what she did and why she's running away, I liked that. Liked might be a strong word, but that made me hate it less. Yo, I'm so glad I didn't waste my time reading it physically, because I was able to zone out, and like rightfully so, okay? I don't even care. Judge me, I don't care. I'm marking it as read, but it was like the audiobook version of skimming is what I did for a lot of it in the second half, especially. If you want something with this vibe, read, I don't want to say the Mindfuck series, because Gavin, I saw his comment on Jordaline's rant vlog for Mindfuck, and he agrees with Jordaline, and he also hates it, but whatever. I liked it. But another recommendation that's similar is Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. Love that one. It has a similar premise, but it's done so much better. It's definitely a lot more triggering than this one, so look those up and take my recommendation with a grain of salt. Please be careful, tread carefully while reading that book, but that was done so much better than this, and it was significantly shorter. God, I hated the characters. I just don't know how I got here. I don't know how any of the characters got anywhere. Like I said, the transitions were so, either they were just non-existent or I just zoned out so hard that, I mean, it's probably the latter, but at the same time, I feel like it should have flowed better. I'm annoyed. Why? Why did I choose this book? You know what? I'm glad I did. We found something we agreed on, Gavin. It's not the point of this vlog, but we found it. All right, this is now a 10.5-minute clip, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna update my bullet journal and all that jazz and my Goodreads, and then delete my Goodreads review to make sure Gavin doesn't see it. Oh, and I can clock out of work. Look at that. Perfect. Whew. I need a breather after this book. I know I'm in the same spot, but I forgot to do a fun fact. And obviously I have to do a fun fact about sharks. This actually doesn't make sense. As in, like, out of context, it sounds like a fun fact that's like jaw-dropping. But once you actually read the description as to why they made that statement, you'll see what I mean. So it says coconuts are more dangerous than sharks. And you're like, what the fuck? How? Sharks are less dangerous than a falling coconut. Falling coconuts kill 30 times more humans annually than sharks. When it comes to humans versus sharks, humans are far more dangerous predators, killing approximately 100 million sharks every year in fisheries. I guess that was more a fun fact about coconuts, as well as how shitty humans can be. But the next one says sharks can lose more than 30,000 teeth in a lifetime. I knew that they lost a lot of teeth, but 30,000 is a pretty big number. So there you go, some fun facts about sharks. I don't think I did one for a study in drowning, but too late now. I don't even know what I would do it for that book. Yeah, if you're new here, I say fun facts for every book I read. Obviously not every, because I just forgot a study in drowning, but whenever I remember. So yeah, just started that this year. It's a little fun addition to my vlogs, and I learn a lot. So hopefully y'all are enjoying it too. Now it's 5 o'clock. I am editing my vlog. Gonna get that up hopefully before my movie night, which is in 2 hours. So gotta go. Oh, we just had brunch. The bangs are not cooperating.
The bangs are banging.
Bangs are banging indeed. Oh man, I didn't change my camera battery. We're at Joe and the Juice.
Joe and the Juice.
I gotta save camera battery for B-roll. So, new coffee shop. Thanks to Jody for the recommendation. Bye. Oh, look at him. We're back home. I am now 300 pages into the appeal. Can someone tell me why the fuck this necessary ass character list and like brief descriptions of each character, list of individuals, as it says, is 300 pages into the book when I needed this in the very beginning? But seriously, 1, 2, 3.5 pages of characters. So how the fuck are we expected to keep track of all these people? Please, like, I don't really care about their ages, but like who they are in relation to other people would have been helpful. I don't know. I mean, I'm reading it faster and faster and I'm almost done. Right now it's sitting at a 3-star because it's just taking way too long. Like, I need things to happen. They think this one person did the thing with the money, but like they're not getting anywhere with this investigation. And then they just keep talking about this play and how some characters are fighting for it to be a charity fundraising event for Poppy, and then other people are just like, it's getting old. So I don't really know what's going on. Charlotte and Femi, are they just like the investigators of the overall thing, and then it's like flashbacks when we're reading the emails, or like we're going through the evidence? I don't know. But it seems like there are more and more of these types of pages, so so it should go by quicker for these last 115 pages. So the goal is to finish this tonight. Joey and I were talking, and since he is loving The Girl on the Train, he's like determined to finish it either tonight or tomorrow. I've decided I might just deal with rewatching the movie, ask him if it's worth keeping the book or unhauling it, which obviously Gavin will say unhaul it, but you're not who I'm asking right now, okay, Gavin? And then I am just going to read the Final Girls Support Group as my final book in this vlog. So that's like 4.5 books, we'll call it. Maybe I can try to at least start the audiobook at work tomorrow for The Girl on the Train. I want to try to follow along with the physical book for Final Girl Support Group as much as possible. So maybe I'll do that, since The Girl on the Train seems like it'll be quick because it's like journal entries. It's nice too that a lot of these have been like mixed media. Like I've seen in the Final Girl Support Group there are some mixed media elements as well, and then there's this, and then The Girl on the Train too. So it's been a fun ride. I have a feeling, I mean, if this stays a 3, then it's probably a disagree with Gavin. He didn't tell me his ratings for all these books, but I'm assuming it's a 1 or 2 for him, if he rated it at all, if he finished it at all. We'll see if it ends up pissing me off and ending up being a 2, but for now I think it's gonna be a 3, but that's just my prediction for now. I have about 3 hours left until my Full Moon Book Club live show. As y'all saw, we went to a coffee shop that just opened last month, and then we went to a bookstore that was like 10 minutes away, so that was a nice sponto moment. I got 3 books. I got Age of Vice, The Fervor, and The Warm Hands of Ghosts, and each one was $8, and then I got a raccoon bookmark for like $6.99. I paid $34 for all of that. 3 books and a bookmark. Amazing. There was like a used book section in there. I've never been to this bookstore, so that was fun. I also got a book from one of my vampies, Megan, so thank you so much. She got me Milk Fed by Melissa Broder, so you'll see all that in my upcoming March book haul that I still have to film, but I have yet to edit my February book haul. Anyway, I'm so good at telling y'all things you don't care about. I'm just gonna sit here and snack on my Filipino snacks that I got in my TryTreats box that they sent me. I have an affiliate link and a code. You could use code JANAGATON, no spaces, to get your first box for 15% off on TryTreats.com, and it's just like a subscription box with like international snacks, so you can like try different snacks. All that to say, I'm gonna read now. I'm doing some Discord sprints with my Patreon. There are sirens anyway, so I'm gonna end this clip. Bye! What if this 2-year-old didn't even have cancer? What if the parents are just like bamboozling everyone? That would be a twist I'm interested in, but I highly doubt it. And obviously I'm not gonna update whether I'm right or wrong because that would be a spoiler, but just saying, that's a theory of mine.
I've been lying here for too long.
Hi, we're doing a car clip because I'm already running late and I didn't have time. I finished the appeal at like 6 in the morning and I gave it a 2. It just wasn't executed properly. Some things were just so predictable. Again, too many characters, too many flat characters. Pretty much everyone was just 0 personality traits other than what they did for a living and their ages. I didn't like it. I liked the format of mixed media, how it was done in terms of, I want to say timeline, but I don't know if that's the right word. I don't know, maybe it was just the writing. It just didn't make an impact in any way. The reveals were done poorly, I think. Well, no. I think the author knew what they were doing, like organization-wise, in terms of like pacing and how to reveal stuff, but I think like the timeline in which information was presented, I feel like that could have been done better. At the end, it felt like everything was just being revealed at once rather than kind of organically. It's one of those like almost monologue feelings, and I'm not a fan of that because it just felt kind of forced. But at the same time, I don't know, maybe I'm just biased because I predicted a couple things, and also I didn't really care about the characters at all, so I didn't feel bad for any of them. One of them dies, and like half the book we're trying to figure out who killed this person, but like I didn't care enough to find out. Regardless of me enjoying it or not, it was definitely way too long for the end result being what it was. I think the author tried to put too many red herrings in there, but like with characters that barely have any page time. I don't get it. I don't know why people are obsessed with this book. This might be a failed experiment, y'all, because out of 3 books, I liked one of them, A Study in Drowning, and honestly, a very forgettable story. Like, I liked it while I was reading it and like right after because of the vibes and everything, but my heart doesn't palpitate when I think about that book. Like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't feel inclined to bring it up, to recommend it to people. So Gavin, I think what you should do, I think what you have to do is just reread A Dowry of Blood, because clearly we agree on a lot of things. This might be a failed one, because I only have one more book, Final Girl Support Group. I mean, I'll try to squeeze in The Girl on the Train, but I really don't want to. I am not in the mood for a thriller after the appeal, I don't think. I gotta turn my alarm off, but I'll keep y'all posted on what I'm doing. I read like 4 pages of the Final Girl Support Group this morning, and it seems like something I would like. I don't know. But I also said that about How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix, and that was also a disappointment. I don't have much planned today after work other than editing my next book haul. Gavin just asked me to sprint on Wednesday, so that's exciting because I have the day off. I was able to do a time that works for both of our stupid time zones. I think I want this vlog to end before then though, because I want to start my cramming vlog. It's currently March 25th. Hello. I just got out of work. I realized I didn't do a fun fact for the appeal, so we're gonna do a fun fact about emails. This is probably more of a marketing fact, but after 24 hours, the chance of an email being opened is down to 1%. That was just like a quick Google search, one of the first things I saw. In other news, I'm about 28% into the Final Girl Support Group, and I don't know if it's just the audiobook because I'm not liking the audiobook, but it's also a very boring story.
Did find this book rather dull.
I don't understand the hype. I hope it gets better, but I don't really know what the objective is right now. Like, we're just hearing conversations. It's very mundane right now.
It was a little bit of like aimless wandering for a lot of it.
The narrator is just not pleasant to listen to. I don't know what it is. If it's like their intonation or something, or their cadence, I don't fucking know. But I am not vibing. And this is just wild to me because I'm supposed to be disagreeing with Gavin. And I'm hating everything. Sid is the only person I know who has like, I don't know if passion is too strong of a word, but like who has any type of positive passion for this book. No, I mean, Sid and I differ a lot in opinions too. Maybe she'll be one of my do your worst guests too. When I get home, at some point, I'm gonna try following along with it, but I don't know. Joey and I are getting Chinese takeaway because that's a Gavin thing to do.
I ended up going to the local Chinese place so I could go and pick it up.
He's also buying me wine, but not red wine because I like my pink Moscato. I don't like red wine. I don't even really like white wine, so I'm not gonna suffer that much for Gavin, okay? So those are 2 Gavin-esque things I'm doing today. Oh, also, Joey is probably gonna try to speed read the rest of The Girl on the Train. Otherwise, he's like, I'll just DNF and we can just watch the movie because it's very gloomy, rainy today, and we're just like, we want to lay in bed and watch a DVD specifically because we watch DVDs on my laptop instead of the TV, and it just sounds like a cozy moment. A coworker is walking out now, so I'm gonna go. But that is the gist of the night. I also need to do dishes and put laundry away, so that's also some audiobook time.
Oh, wait.
Chinese takeaway. Ew, why would you put that on there? Noms.
Noms.
Oh, not for you.
Oh, what the heck?
Okay. Hello. The boys just went out on a walk. Have my corksicle. Should probably wash this lid. It's kind of gross. But Joey bought pink Moscato as promised. This one is for Gavin. If I can fucking open it with my arthritic hands. There we go. While I do this, I wanted to talk about the Final Girl Support Group. I think I'm past 30% through now. Oh, I have to highlight a couple things in chapter 8. There was this one part where this girl's wrist was getting bent backwards and stuff, and I was just like cringing and wincing because like just thinking about that just hurt. Other than that, I was just like, oh my god, I don't care.
But I just couldn't care.
I was literally driving in my car by myself, and I was like, oh my god, when is this gonna end? I don't care. I was like saying this stuff out loud. as I'm listening to this audiobook. It's probably gonna be a 3. I'm not even halfway through, so subject to change, but I would not be surprised if it's a 3, since with Grady Hendrix, I loved Horror Store.
And then I moved to Horror Store, which I really enjoyed, not as much as My Best Friend's Exorcism, but I still enjoyed it.
I gave that 5 stars, and then everything else, My Best Friend's Exorcism, Slaying Vampires,
The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, and it was okay.
How to Sell a Haunted House, they were all 3 stars for me. I started We Sold Our Souls, and I soft DNF'd it in like 2021, and I never picked it back up again. So, I don't know if Grady Hendrix is for me.
I'm kind of falling out of love with Grady Hendrix, unfortunately.
But, I mean, I'm gonna read what I own for now. I just, like, I'm so desperate to like him for some reason. Because I know, like, he's such a good guy, too. Like, as a person, people who go to his meetups, like, everyone just says that he's a great guy, he's hilarious, he's super nice. But something about his writing, it just, like, lingers too much or something. And this is another one where the characters feel so flat. Like, I know nothing about these characters. They all sound like the same person to me. Back to back with the appeal, I just cannot with boring characters. But I'm gonna finish it. Joey really wants to watch The Girl on the Train tonight, so I think he's set on just DNFing the book. It is like getting to be a pretty old book at this point, so I don't know if it's gonna age well or whatever. But anyway, I'm gonna edit my book haul. While I do chores later, I'll continue listening to Final Girl Support Group, and then I'll update y'all later. Cheers to this video almost being over, and I guess cheers to a failed experiment, because I guess Gavin and I have more similar tastes than we thought.
Make our love a story that would never end. Never thought I'd feel so.
I'm on my lunch break, so real quick before anyone walks in. Plot twist, I'm actually kind of liking it now, the Final Girl Support Group. I'm on page like 262 now. Been listening to the audiobook on and off throughout my workday. My manager and I went to go buy paint for something, also bubble tea, so that was nice of her. Anyway, I just wanted to mention the deer antler scene, wild. That was the turning point for me. It was like 170 pages in, I think. I just finished the museum scene where they talk about like Manson murders and all these other serial killers and like this memorabilia and how expensive everything sells for. And then there was like discussion on why things like that sell for that much and why certain people's deaths are seen as like something that can be put on a pedestal. I don't know. There are a lot of good discussions about obviously final girls and women in general and how women are perceived versus how men are perceived. It's interesting because Grady Hendrix is a man, right? But I think he's handling it well, in my opinion, for the most part. Unless I missed something, then I just sound like an idiot. Guess what? We're about to end the vlog. It's happening. I finished the Final Girl Support Group. I ended up liking it a lot more by the end. I liked the commentary on why final girls are even a thing. I feel like there's a lot more that like I have to unpack that I haven't fully like sorted out in my brain in terms of like the underlying message, because I was listening to the audiobook mostly other than like my lunch breaks and the beginning of the book. Part of me wants to reread it already. Not like already, but part of me knows that eventually I would want to reread it, and that I know upon reread I'd probably give it another star and I'll probably like it more and I'll probably get more out of it. But for now, I think it's gonna be a 3. Either way, it means I liked it more than Gavin, right? I mean, it's not the worst thing I've ever read by any means. I definitely liked it more than, I don't know, I feel like it's mostly similar to the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, but I feel like I like this more because in Slaying Vampires, they were all moms, if I remember correctly. I feel like they're similar because the buildup was slower, but then there were like action scenes toward the end. But in this one, I just really liked the horror elements to it, how like almost nonchalant the horror would come in.
The horror element of it, I don't think was there.
The narrator would just be narrating, and then all of a sudden you hear a sentence about like this woman finding a human scalp, and I'm like, excuse me? Sorry? Let me rewind. It was just like the casual way of how it's written. It wasn't like a whole moment every time something horrific was encountered by these characters. That was a long-winded way of saying what I wanted to say, but it definitely got better, like I said, from that deer antler scene when we found out what happened to, was it our main character? Was it Lynette's family? And I did appreciate the mixed media as well, although I didn't really like make connections between the mixed media things. There was a lot that I missed. And like I said, I feel like upon reread, if I ever do reread it, at first, don't get me wrong, the first 150 pages, I was like, I'm unhauling this. I agree with Gavin. We bow down. But now I'm just like, you know, it could be a 4 if I reread it. I know it wouldn't be a 5 because I don't think rereading it would change the fact that the characters all felt the same. Other than what happened to them or their families or whatever, they all were just the same character. It didn't feel like commentary on, it's not stereotype. What's the word where it's just like a persona? What is the fucking word? When it's like a cookie cutter version of, it's like a tropey character. What is that term? Does it start with an S? I don't even know. But it didn't feel like that. Like it just felt like lack of character development. I also like the font in this book. That could be partially why I liked it. And I didn't mind physically reading it as well. It was fun following along, I will say, because listening to the audiobook, even till the end, I still didn't like the narrator. So yeah, the verdict of this vlog. This experiment, I think, was it a success? I don't even know, because Does It Hurt was the worst book. One of the worst books I've ever read in my life, but definitely the worst book of this vlog. I gave that 1 star. Definitely agree with Gavin. Horrible romance book. Hated it. The Appeal, I don't know if Gavin gave it a 1 star or 2 star, but I gave it a 2. It was just highly disappointing. I was bored at some points, but there was never a point where I was like, okay, I'm DNFing this book. Like, I didn't hate it. It was just predictable. It was way too long, and the execution was just not done well. Some of the information in that book was like redundant. And then this one I definitely liked more than Gavin, I'm gonna assume. He didn't give it a 3. And then A Study in Drowning, I gave a 4. So that was definitely a disagree. This is why I wanted to read 5 books and not 4, just in case this exact situation happened. But I did watch The Girl on the Train. I'm gonna unhaul the book. Joey DNF'd it because he's like, once I watch the movie, I'm not gonna want to read it. But he said he was enjoying the book. He wanted me to make that clear to all of you, okay? That he was not disliking the book. The movie, I remembered a lot.
Oh, actually, you know what? I remember a lot more than I thought of the movie.
From when I watched it back when it came out. I don't even know what year it was, but it was like in the 20 teens. So I don't know. I don't think I would want to read it as a book. It feels very classic villain, alcoholic woman. I mean, the twist is okay, but a lot of things about it gave me the ick, so I don't think reading it would be any better. So I'm gonna call that an agree with Gavin, maybe, possibly. Oh, I guess I can call this success, but it feels forced, you know? I can't wait to see what he chose from my list of worst books in his vlog. I gave him a list of like 3 that I think he might like, so I wonder if he chose any of those. I don't know. I will link his video down below if I remember, but I mean, y'all are probably all subscribed to him anyway. It's Gavin Reads It All. His channel will definitely be linked down below, but I mean, if you found me before him, you're doing YouTube wrong. So go watch his vlog if you haven't already. Thank you so much to Gavin for working with me once again. This was so much fun. I literally didn't even expect him to make his own video. I think I've said that before, but this was like above and beyond what I expected. I'm super stoked for this project to be up. I'm glad I was able to get 4 books done at least. Oh, I didn't do a fun fact. Should I do fun facts about chairs? Because there's a chair on the cover. Fun facts about specifically fold-out chairs. Folding chairs or stools were used as seating in the Mediterranean area. That's dumb. The chairs were also used as grave goods in the richest graves. A folding chair of ebony and ivory with gold fittings was found in King Tut's tomb in Egypt. There you go. Folding chair. I don't know why I called it a fold-out chair. The fuck? What should I use for the emoji? I've used this before, but I kind of want to do the blood drip emoji to represent a dowry of blood, just to spite Gavin. Just put the blood drip emoji or put the flamin' heart emoji in the comments down below too, because I love Gavin so much. Let me know what you think of any of these books if you've read them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a vampy day. Don't forget to do some self-care, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!